Greetings, Indie Warriors, and welcome to I Dream of Indie Games. My name is Old Gamer Joe, and it's time once again to go over all of the exciting indie, AA, and retro game releases headed your way. This time for the week of June 16th through the 20th of 2025. Have you been able to keep up with the insane amount of game announcements and releases this month so far? I sure haven't, but that doesn't stop us from trying, that's for damn sure. And hey, a hell of a lot of work goes into shows like this and all of our content, so if you love what we do and you want to support us further, head on over to patreon.com/idreamofindiegames and you'll gain Discord access to the greatest indie gaming community, enjoy early ad-free shows, shoutouts, our podcast 3 days early, and so much more. Your new indie gaming community is waiting for you. Let's kick things off with a real-time strategy title coming to us from publisher Indie.io. Grimstar, Crystals Are the New Oil. Taking place deep in the future, Earth has been ravaged and is in danger of fading out entirely. But fear not, a planet far off in a distant galaxy may be able to save the day. That planet is, you guessed it, Grimstar. Gather resources, uncover the mystery of your brother's tragic death, and unlock units, upgrades, and new planets as you progress further into the game. Don't let an evil corporation and its soulless executives rule the day. Get those crystals and make some new oil, damn it. Available on the 16th. Okay, I lied just a little. This game won't have your wallet crying because it's free. Shadowverse, Worlds Beyond, a strategy card game. The latest member of the Shadowverse universe, which I gotta be honest, I'm not familiar with, features brand new techniques to learn, colorful visuals, and super crazy awesome evolution mechanics that will punish your foes. The game will feature a total of 7 different classes to choose between: a story campaign, the Shadowverse Park, which acts as a social hub, and intense strategic deck battles that will keep you on the edge of your seat. Who needs the new Final Fantasy Magic cards, right? Alright, so I bought the Terra deck, I admit it, but this looks like another great card game to add to your collection. We've waited long enough. Our favorite wisecracking, sarcastic gecko from the 90s is back, and he's better than ever. GEX Trilogy revitalizes the original 3 PlayStation games, both 2D and 3D, and brings them up to modern times with new analog controls, improved visuals and frame rates, bonus features, and more. GEX Trilogy should be the definitive way to play these classics, and yes, they still include all of the original music, alongside hilarious voice work from Dana Gould. Retro gaming fans won't want to miss this one. Purchasing it might make you feel like Ben Franklin's wallet. After you take a verbal pummeling from GEX, maybe check out Cast and Chill. Unwind for a bit in this cozy little idle game where you can fish at your own leisure across rivers, lakes, and oceans. No stress at all. Catch hard-to-find fish, upgrade your gear, and switch to active mode where you'll have full control over reeling in the next big catch. There will be over 50 different fish to nab, so get your earthworms ready and transform your monitor into an underwater paradise this week. Next on our list is a game that's already been reviewed on the channel, so be sure to check out Ashton's awesome breakdown of Date Everything, a game where you can quite literally date everything from the fridge to the microwave and even your bed. This quirky dating sim is like no other and features a star-studded cast of voice talent alongside over 11,000 unique pieces of art. With its very odd sense of humor and colorful visuals, Date Everything looks like a total match made in heaven, so make a love connection on the 17th. Now we're firing on all cylinders. Our next release is going to be GUNTOUCHABLES, a self-proclaimed doomsday roguelite that allows for up to 4 players in epic online co-op. Taking place in a desolate world that's been ravaged by mutants, you are a member of the Preppers who are attempting to reclaim the world they so love. Enemies are smart, so stay alert, mod your weapons, gain new upgrades, create builds, and earn rewards in this fast, dynamic shootout that is coming to us from GameSwing. Well, this is unusual, but it's yet another game that you can already check out a full review of right here at I Dream of Indie Games. Lost in Random, The Eternal Die. This follow-up of sorts takes a much different approach, being more of an action roguelite that's similar in style to Hades. You must take down waves of enemies and bosses, grow stronger, and ultimately conquer the game through your sheer determination and grit. I didn't play the first game myself, but do wonder what fans will make of this release, as it seems to be a tremendous departure. Still, I can always get down with a good roguelite now and then, keyword good. I might give this one a go myself when it launches this week. Having lingered in early access since 2022, Soulstone Survivors will finally see the light of day and appear on consoles for the first time. You'll battle off an endless slew of evil monsters in this action roguelike that features tons of unlockable characters, various synergies, 350 skills, endless build combinations, and massive bosses. Progression is pretty deep in this one, as there are 100 unique weapons, a ton of maps, and plenty of different game modes to keep you busy for hours on end. Over 1 million gamers have already played, and that number will only rise when Soulstone Survivors drops on the 17th. Maybe you're ready to step back into the TRON universe. TRON Catalyst will have you doing just that, this time in an isometric action title developed by Bithell Games with publishing help from Devolver Digital. Taking place in the art grid, you'll control Exo with extraordinary abilities, unravel the mysteries of the glitch loop using an assortment of attacks, and parry your way towards victory. The TRON universe is almost always interesting, so I look forward to seeing how this release adds to the series' legacy. Another day, another Metroidvania, but this time with a time-looping mechanic. DragonLoop traps players in a 5-day cycle, challenging them to defeat tough foes and figure out just why it's Groundhog's Day. Navigate shifting timelines, take down huge bosses, gain powerful abilities to progress, all the Metroidvania goodness we've come to expect. Visuals and animations look sharp, and there's even going to be multiple endings. Can't argue with the value there. And on the topic of Metroidvania games, why not have another one? Awita Journey of Hope follows the story of Awita, who's hoping she can save her village from certain doom. Combat looks fierce here, the world massive, and the story rather interesting. I like the pixel art style of the game, and from what I can see of the boss fights, they look pretty rad too. Looks like Metroidvania fans will eat very well this week, as if there were ever any doubt. Pick a card, any card. That's right, another deck builder on the list. This is Crown Gambit, or is it a deck builder? Crown Gambit is also being billed as a narrative tactical RPG, rife with political drama. Telling the tale of 3 different paladins, you must battle your way through turn-based card combat on a quest to unravel the many mysteries that are being presented. Expect to make a few tough choices along the way, too. Nobody said it was going to be easy. Wasn't that the lyric to a Coldplay song or something? The Scientist. Great freaking song. Looking for a tough platformer to add to your indie gaming library this week, huh? Through the Nightmares may be just what the doctor ordered, a very challenging looking platformer where you must survive perilous traps and escape an endless dream. Ha ha ha! What makes this game stand out a bit is its size shifting mechanics, which allow you to squeeze through areas and also change how far you can jump and how quickly you can move. Sounds interesting, and I love myself a good platformer, so can't wait to try this one on the 19th. Prepare to explore the dangerous world of Vessels of Decay. I mean, with a title like that, you wouldn't expect any less, right? This action-adventure title takes place in an alternate Scandinavia, in a world overrun by monsters. See if you can survive intense combat encounters as you battle back bosses, exploring a grisly pixelated world that retro enthusiasts will greatly appreciate. It looks tough, violent, and features epic boss battles, along with some awesome-looking finishers that wouldn't feel out of place in a Mortal Kombat game. I can always appreciate when an indie game tries to create a vast open world, even if it isn't always successful at it. Here's to hoping it is, however, with Star Overdrive, which will be launching on the 19th. Star Overdrive will have you racing around an open world on a hoverboard, attempting to pull off tricks, all while solving puzzles and kicking butt. That's a tall order, but I have a feeling some of you are going to be up for the challenge. The fate of the world is in your hands, after all. There's been no shortage of arcadey soccer games released in the last decade, but few have done it better than the now infamous Rocket League. Developer Slowclap is demanding a rematch with their new online 5v5 multiplayer game, appropriately titled Rematch. Take on your online friends in a game where your skills will be put to the test in non-stop soccer action. There will be leagues, seasonal content, and plenty more for the couch-based athletes out there. Let's see if it scores a goal later this week. Chronicles of the Wolf is a Metroidvania game, one of many that have been included on this list so far, but it has some surprisingly big names attached to it, not the least of which is the voice of Alucard from way back in the Symphony of the Night days. Outside of some familiar faces, or I suppose voices, it looks to be a pretty standard Metroidvania with the usual map exploration, abilities to learn, bosses to defeat, and a haunting soundtrack, some of which was composed by the composer of Castlevania Lords of Shadow. The game hopes to feed on your nostalgia later this week, but you can check out our review right now. Gosh, I wish I could turn into a highly attractive person out of nowhere. That's actually the premise of the new turn-based story-rich RPG Nova Hearts, where superheroes come together to text and fight, apparently. Unsurprisingly, there are some dating and relationship elements here as you build friendships with the varied cast. At its core, it's a visual novel with tons of choices to make that will impact how the story turns out. And don't forget about that turn-based combat. Love it or hate it, the game will be tugging on someone's heartstrings when it drops later this week. Now we have an action RPG headed your way, coming to us from Finish Line Games and Snail Games USA. In Robots at Midnight, you'll control Zoe, who is fighting for a better future. You'll awaken from a long slumber to a world that's no longer how you remember it. Now, with robots running amok, using your space gauntlet known as the MIT, you'll have a variety of ways to take down these menacing bots and hopefully solve the mystery of the blackout. I'm about to black out from all these indie releases myself. This one goes out to all of you Vampire Survivors fanatics out there. We've got another auto shooter for you, and this one can be played with a single hand. Take control of Pinocchio in a strange new world where you'll gather dream eggs that grant you new strengths. This is Dark Fairy Tale Dreamland Survivors. The roguelike loop will keep you enthralled as you dance through this dreamlike world using an assortment of combat styles, earning new characters all along the way. There are 3 different weapon types, a variety of exclusive talents, tons of items, and tarot trials that will challenge you further. Are you prepared to enter this endless dream? I've heard of Diary of a Wimpy Kid, but this isn't that kind of diary. Instead, there is a mystery to solve that will require you to travel between both the past and the present in The Diary, a 2D narrative puzzle adventure game. This one takes place almost entirely in the pages of a notebook, which contain various puzzles to solve. You'll need to record and capture images, play different instruments, and find various clues throughout diaries. Can you piece it all together to discover everything about the 6 unique characters featured, or will this diary self-destruct? I don't know, I'm losing my mind over here. Check it out on the 20th. Well, you know what they say, what goes up must come down, and in Metro Gravity, which looks to be inspired by the Gravity Rush games if you recall those, you'll be manipulating gravity and solving many different puzzles trying to escape a dream world. Interestingly, the combat is also rhythm-based. The premise of the game follows clicking on a bad link and ending up in an upside-down world. You'll need to acquire new abilities as you progress, enjoying retro throwback visuals and meeting odd acquaintances on the way. Best of all, the soundtrack is jazzy. So get those jazz hands up and strike a rhythm to the beat on the 20th. And that's gonna do it for this week, folks. That was over 20 awesome-looking indie games that you can grab this very week. Voice to the voiceless, and I'll see you on the channel for even more amazing indie gaming coverage.